Russia just held the largest summit in history, with leaders of every Eastern-aligned country going there. If you don't know, the BRICS Summit took place over the last 2 days, and I'm going to cover everything that happened which is worth knowing about. The first thing to know is the Indian Prime Minister met with the Iranian Prime Minister, and they spoke on the global situation and the current war in the Middle East. Obviously, Iran is enemies with Israel, and it's worth knowing that India supplies weapons to Israel, which then they use to attack Iran and Iran's proxies. So Iran obviously probably doesn't have good relations with India. And talking about Israel, the entirety of BRICS collectively condemned Israel and they called for a ceasefire. Now, a big thing, for the first time in over 5 years, both India and China had a bilateral meeting. And if you've watched my video from 2 days ago, you would know that this comes after a historic agreement to end the country's disputed border crisis. The next thing to know is that the Saudi Crown Prince didn't attend the summit, even though he was invited to go. Instead, he stayed at home and he had a meeting with the US Secretary of State, Anthony Blinken. The reason for this is unknown, except Saudi Arabia did still send their foreign minister to represent Saudi instead. Now, one more of the important points. Russian President Putin said that Iran is now a, quote, fully fledged member of the BRICS. And obviously, this is a really big deal because of the situation in the Middle East at the moment. And the final point to note, which is arguably the most important, is that Russian President Putin was gifted a mock-up version of a BRICS bill, a future BRICS currency. And you should know, if you've been watching my videos for a while, that BRICS is trying to develop a currency to take on the US dollar. But in summary, Russia has just held the largest ever summit in Russia, with over 36 countries attending it, and they are looking to take on the West and form a new future global alliance. But you can leave me a follow for some more global news like this.